Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about a new form called the TABS form. It is a form that will be used for gifted and talented identification. As you know, the Gifted and Talented Committee utilizes 3 data points in order to qualify a learner for gifted and talented services. The TABS form will be one of those data points for learners in kindergarten, third grade, and fifth grade. The TABS form is a new data point that is going to be implemented by the Gifted and Talented Department. It will be used instead of the previous needs assessment form, which had 6 questions on it and was used in the past by educators to assess their learners based on GT characteristics. Um, and so, what is TABS and what does it stand for? TABS stands for traits, attributes, and behaviors. It will look at different indicators of gifted tendencies. It will look at 10 different areas of these tendencies, and your GT learners in your class or learners that you may suspect may have some gifted characteristics might not necessarily have all of those 10 different areas showing up. What we as a committee are going to be looking for is kind of a combination of 4s and 5s, with 5 being the strongest indicator that you can select. Um, if you do select either a 4 and 5, we are asking that you also provide some examples of how your learner is demonstrating the characteristics in the classroom. So this is what the form will look like. As you will notice, the learner's full name will go here, the grade, class. You don't have to worry about the date and campus, we already know. So the different areas you'll be looking at is motivation, and there's a definition, interests, communication skills, problem solving ability, memory, inquiry, insightfulness, reasoning, imagination or creativity, and humor. There is also another description of how this may look in the learner that you are assessing. And here's that scale from 1 to 5. So 1 is the weakest, 4 and 5 would be the strongest. And if you do rate your learner either a 4 or 5, then you would need to provide some examples of how they are demonstrating that in the classroom. Also, I want to make note to let you know that when you are scoring any of your learners, you are comparing that learner to the average learner in your classroom. So the comparison is if I'm rating, a child by the name of Jennifer, I'm going to compare Jennifer to my average learner in my classroom. And in terms of motivation, is that learner the average or the typical as any other learner in my class? Or is Jennifer quite a bit more stronger in the area of motivation in the classroom when compared to other kids of the same age? So you're looking at the comparison of the learner that you're assessing to other learners in the class of the same age. So who is going to be getting the TABS form? Currently, kindergarten, third grade, fourth and fifth. First and second will be as needed. For kinder, third, and fifth, I will be dropping this form in your box by early next week, and I will have a due date of before Thanksgiving to get it back to me, please. It's important to keep notes as they occur in your classroom, especially if you are documenting a learner based on some gifted tendencies that you might see in your class. So you could put it in Notability, you could just have a Google Doc going, anywhere that you're able to really locate this information again, especially when we take the learners to the committee. Um, there's another option that if you would like to record your observations that you see in the classroom based on the 10 different gifted characteristics, I can print this off for you. This just identifies the 10 different characteristics and gives you that definition and how it looks. But here you can actually record on this right hand side exactly what you saw in the classroom. TABS is a screening data point and possibly the most important. You are the eyes and ears of the classroom. When I take this data to the committee, this is really invaluable, having that anecdotal record of what you're seeing in the classroom and why you think this learner is exhibiting certain gifted tendencies. So, along with their scores, this plays a vital role in the identification process. We need evidence in order to determine eligibility for services. So this is again that data point, that evidence to help with that piece. You could also use this TABS form in a parent interview with, you have many parents who are always requesting that their child be tested for gifted services. This could be something that you show a parent and say, based on this gifted scale, these are the areas where I see your learner in these different gifted characteristics. It's also your chance to say, hey, Mrs. Khan, you're not in my classroom every day, but I am, and this learner that I see on a daily basis really is showing me in different ways and on different occasions that he is exhibiting these characteristics, which again strengthens the case when we take it to the committee. Of course, accurate data is vital, so timing it, dating it is very important as well. The good news is if you were here in the past, this TABS form will replace the needs assessment and possibly the SIGs. I'm going to refrain from saying it will replace the SIGs completely, but for the most part, it's a pretty detailed form. And if it is, looked at and completed with fidelity, then this could by far be even more important than any other data piece that we look at as a committee. So please just take the time to, fill out the form in terms of recommending some learners and recognize that this data piece is very important in the identification process. And if you need any help filling out the form, please let me know. I would be more than happy to come and work with you on that. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for listening.